Adriana Smith was 31. She was already a mom to a beautiful little boy, and she was pregnant again. She was suffering from blinding headaches. Something was clearly wrong, and she collapsed and was rushed to the hospital. Turned out she had a condition called hydrocephalus, a buildup fluid on the brain that caused fatal pressure. By the time doctors figured it out, it was too late, and she was declared brain dead. And I need y'all to hear me when I say this. Brain dead means dead, not in a coma, not unconscious, legally, medically, and physically gone. But instead of letting her rest, the doctor told her mother, "We cannot remove her from life support. There's a fetal heartbeat." So now let's talk about why that happened. In Georgia, there's a law called HB 481, aka the heartbeat law. It bans abortion after 6 weeks, and this is the key part, it grants personhood to the fetus, meaning the fetus has equal legal rights as a person. So when Adriana was declared dead at 9 weeks pregnant, her fetus had a heartbeat, and under Georgia's law, the hospital legally had to treat that fetus as a patient. Not Adriana, she wasn't the patient anymore. She was the property that the fetus was living in. So even though her mother, April, begged for them to remove life support and let her daughter rest, they said no. If we turn off the machines, it's abortion and that's illegal. So they left her there, a dead woman on machines, for 4 straight months. So for 4 months, Adriana's body was kept running, not because there was hope for her, she was gone, but because the state wanted to protect the life inside her. Let's call this what it was. She was held hostage, okay? Her body was used as an incubator. Her mother couldn't grieve, they couldn't bury her, they couldn't move forward. Every beep of those machines was a reminder that her child had no rights, because Adriana, she didn't matter anymore, not to the law. And the most twisted part, if the fetus hadn't made it, if the baby hadn't survived the delivery, her body would have been used for nothing. That risk didn't matter to the state because Georgia cared more about control than compassion. The hospital delivered the baby via C-section at around 32 weeks. The baby survived. And let me be clear, I wish that child nothing but love, help, and protection. None of this is his fault. But let's stop pretending that this was some miraculous success story. The truth is, the baby was born in trauma, his mother was already gone when he entered the world, and his family will now spend the rest of their lives explaining how the law stole Adriana's body before she could be buried. So her mom, April, had been loud and clear that she did not want this. She didn't want her daughter's body dragged through this nightmare. She said she wanted to lay her baby girl to rest, but the doctor said their hands were tied because the HB 481, because of the law. She called the experience torture, and honestly, that's what it was. Imagine going to the hospital every day to see your dead daughter with machines forcing her to keep moving, not because she might wake up, but because she was being used. So let me tell you something real. This wasn't God. This wasn't a miracle. This wasn't pro-life. This was state-sponsored body snatching. So in this video, I'm going to include clips from people who are just sickened by this as I am. Doctors, women, Black mothers, pro-choice activists who felt like this was too far. Because Adriana's story isn't one-off. It's a warning. And if we don't speak up now, this will keep on happening.
She's dead. She's bitch, she's dead. This Adriana Smith is dead, which is why the baby had to be born 3 months early, because her body's decaying. Her body is decaying because she's unalive. She's not here. She's not present anymore. The baby was born 1 pound. The baby was born 1 pound. What parent in America would want their baby to be born 1 pound? And then they acting like she delivered the baby. You cannot deliver a baby if you're not here. You cannot deliver a baby if you're unalive. You cannot deliver a baby if you're dead. What's not clicking for them? I don't understand this. This is so cruel. It's so mean. It's so just inhumane. I feel like it's not humane because that's what? And I saw somebody else posting like, no, these motherfuckers just was experimenting. They wanted to see if they can produce a child, if they can make a baby be born from a woman who's not alive. And y'all know what that is. Because these women are standing the fuck up, they trying to figure out ways to keep the babies booming, okay? And no, fuck that, okay? No, fuck that. It's really blowing me that y'all are forcing this child to be here with no mother. And then, y'all, I know we're not done. Because they're going to want to bring that baby back in for testing and bring that baby back in for this and for that, because they want to study it and make sure the baby's going to be healthy because it was born from a person who's unalive. Come on. Again, Adriana Smith did not give birth. They treated her very inhumanely. They made her a human incubator while she was unalive, kept her alive, even though her body is naturally rotting because it's dead, it's decaying, and they forced her to have a fucking baby and they want to see what happens.
Adriana Smith had her autopsy this week. So sorry, they're calling it a C-section. They're calling it a C-section when they kept a woman who was brain dead for 114 days on a ventilator in an ICU. You know, she was a nurse. She was a 31-year-old nurse. I'll be 31 next week. I'm a nurse and a doctor. And that could have been me. That could have been me against my will, against my family's wishes, watching a 100% brain dead daughter whom they loved while taking care of her 7-year-old daughter in an ICU, fighting with the hospital and the state and the country with no options. That could have been me. That could have been you. I hope that you share every video that mentions Adriana Smith's name. I hope that you comment her name on everything that you can. I hope that her name goes into textbooks and becomes synonymous with how we do not treat women in this country, how we do not treat humans, how we do not take autonomy and justice for granted as doctors. This isn't okay. This was never okay. And it got overshadowed by all the other crazy things going on in this country. But her world ended in February. February. Do you remember Valentine's Day? Because I don't. That's how long ago it was. That is how long they have kept this woman who was not alive, tied to machines and IVs and beeping. And I can just not imagine the suffering that her family had to watch.
I don't think enough people understand what it truly means to be brain dead. Brain dead does not mean like, oh, you're in a coma, there's a possibility you could wake up, or oh, you're just a vegetable. Brain dead means you're dead. You're completely dead. The only reason that your heart is still beating is because you have a machine beating your heart for you. You have a machine breathing your lungs for you. You have medicine being pumped in you 24/7, keeping you from literally decomposing. They are forcing a child to be born from a corpse that is playing God, that is disgusting, that is sick, that is depraved. Not only will they not let this poor woman rest in peace, but they are forcing her grieving family to take care of this baby that's going to have all sorts of health issues because it was born from a corpse. A corpse. How are more people not outraged?
Since we have to save the baby and not the mother, when men have testicular cancer, let's save the ball and not the man. The ball brings in life. What about you? No. Let's save your balls, but let you die. You see where I'm coming from? Because they want to save the baby because, the baby is life. Your balls bring life. Your balls are life, but you're not. You see, you're a human sac that doesn't do anything. That's what the mother basically is at this point. The mother is a human sac that's worth nothing, but that baby is. So you, the man, are worth nothing. So we're going to save your balls and not you. That's what we're going to do. Since we can make all these rules for them, we can make rules for you too. Maybe we can put you on birth control too. Oh no. It would mess up your hormones and make you act crazy. Only women can go through that. Right.
As a nurse who works with children, you have no idea what that 1-pound baby is in for. You have no idea. This is not pro-life. This is pro-cruelty.
Adriana Smith's baby will never live a normal life. It's not because he's a preemie, and it's not because he weighs just over a pound. I don't want to say this because I don't want to sound disrespectful, but Georgia used Adriana as a science experiment. If you know anything about them, you know a product of a science experiment is never left alone. It is constantly monitored, it is constantly watched, and it is constantly recorded. Now they could shock us and just say, now that the experiment's done, we can go ahead and just give the family their baby. what are the chances?
So like I said, Adriana Smith, she was a mother, she was a daughter, she was a living, breathing woman with a family who loved her. And when she died, she deserved to rest. She deserved dignity. She deserved to be let go with peace, not held hostage by the political law. To Georgia, you didn't save a life, you desecrated one. And to everyone watching, don't let this be okay. Don't scroll past this story and pretend like it can't happen again. Because if the law can own your body after death, best believe they'll try to control it while you're still breathing. So this has been the Culture Debrief. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this to anybody that you can, because Adriana's story wasn't for nothing. It has to be told.